Welcome to Truespiration. If you guys don't remember from last week, my name is Shannon, and this week I am super excited to talk about branding. I want to talk about why branding is important, what branding is, and kind of the elements you need to create to do your own branding and get you guys started on the right foot. So let's get started. What is branding? Sometimes when you think of brand, you think of your logo, and that is kind of the same thing. The logo is part of your brand, but that isn't your brand. Your brand is your personality of your company. It's what people feel, it's what people think when they see your logo or when they see your marketing materials. It's not just the logo, it's not just the materials, it's the entirety of everything. So it's important to learn what your audience wants and what they are looking for in your business. That way you can create a full brand experience for them. The brand extends to every aspect of your business. It's how you answer your phones, how you look on your website, what your logo says, even down to the color you pick. And I will give you an example of my business, Truespiration. I have the color teal because teal means something to me. When I was 13, my mom was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, and when I was 16, she passed away. And teal is the color of ovarian cancer. So to me, it's important to have teal in my logo and in my business to show that she's a part of that. So that's the emotional attachment to me, to my colors, that I can pass on to other people. Your brand is the face of your company, and it's how you can build credibility and trust with your consumers. So when you're thinking about doing your branding, you want to think about what products and services can your consumers benefit from, what do they already love about your brand, and how can you bring that to the forefront of everything you're doing. Because you want to build a well-established brand, a brand that people recognize, a brand that people trust, and a brand that people love, and a brand that people want to spread about. Because word of mouth still and always will be the best form of marketing. People trust people. They don't always trust companies. So you have to think of the qualities that you want people to associate with your brand. Are you healthy lifestyle? Are you fast and convenient? Are you cheaper than the competition? Really look into your brand and see what you want your consumers to see when they look at you, when they see your logo, when they see your colors. So that's kind of a summary of what the brand is. It's a time for you to step back as a company and to really look at who you are, what you want people to see you as, and how you want to move forward. So let's talk about why branding is so important. Your brand is the noun and branding is the verb. So your branding is constantly moving and constantly going. But it's not constantly changing. It's adapting. It's looking into your audience and seeing where they're at. A strong brand knows that it can't be all things to all people. You have to really find your market and figure out who you really want to target, which we'll talk about next week. Branding is a really good way to bring an indifferent audience and make them evangelists, make them people who talk about your brand, people who share your content, and people who really actively get you new customers while remaining loyal. Branding is a way to tell people who you are, where you fit in with them, and how you want them to perceive you. Your brand is an emotional connection you can have with your customers, the gut feeling they get when they hear your name or they see your logo. So your brand is your customers' perceived quality or their emotional attachment to your company. So consistent and strategic brand quality can give you very strong brand equity. Strong brand equity adds value to your company and gives you the opportunity to kind of build your own price range even in the midst of your competition. It also creates a very strong trust in the marketplace when people see that you're being consistent on all channels and saying the same thing everywhere. So what are the elements of your brand? Paul Rand says that design is the silent ambassador of your brand. And that is very true because across all your channels, you're going to want to have the same type of design, the same type of feel, and the same type of language. A lot of larger companies do create brand guidelines for your do's and your don'ts for your logos, what colors to use, what colors your logo can go on, what colors it can't go on. And the guidelines are really good just to make sure that your logo and all your marketing material is being used consistently through all the markets, no matter who you're working with or who you're working for. So the first thing you want to do when you're starting your business is you want to do a SWOT analysis. And a SWOT analysis is SWOT, your strength, your weaknesses, the opportunities in the market, and your threats. So you're going to start off with the S, which is your strengths. So you're going to look at all the positive characteristics of your company as related to the competition in the marketplace. You're also going to take a strong look at all your weaknesses, where you're lacking in the marketplace, where the competitors are doing better than you. Also, you want to look at the O, which is opportunities. Is there a new angle you can go in that your competitors haven't gone into yet? Lastly, you're going to look at the T, the threats. You're going to look at the elements of the environment and the industry to see where there's possible issues for your business. But the foundation of your brand is your logo, because your logo is going to go on your website, your marketing materials, your social media pages, everything. Your logo will be everywhere. So the first step is to get a logo, create it, and put it on everything. As you can see, I've worn my logo in the last 2 videos I've done. The logo is on my social media page. I start my video with my logo. My logo is everywhere because I want you to know who I am and what my logo is for. Because I want you to see my logo, I want you to recognize it, and when you see my face, I want you to think of my logo. It is the most recognizable part of your brand. So it's going to be something you care about, it's going to be something you want to look at, and make sure it's something that you're very proud of. Also, look at color psychology to kind of see what your brand conveys to your consumers. So the teal is important to me, but teal is also a calming color. So even though it may not necessarily have an emotional attachment to you like it does to me, it'll still give you a sense of calm. And hopefully my brand and my videos make you calm about your business so you can see that you can start it now and it won't be that hard. You're going to want to make sure the colors, the logo, and the font are all consistent throughout all your marketing materials. That way consumers know when they see the material, when they see your website, that it's you. So you're going to want to use the same color, the same logo placement, the same look and feel. That way people understand it's you. You don't need to be fancy, you just need to be consistent. So let's talk about brand messaging. What is your voice? Let's look at your mission statement. Your mission statement is, what do you stand for? What do you add to the market? And your mission statement is super important for everyone in your company to know. Anybody you ask should know what your purpose is. Create a voice for your brand. It should be consistent across your websites and your social media pages and all your written material. Are you friendly? Are you conversational? Are you thought-provoking? Are you industry leaders? Or are you more formal? For instance, on Twitter, Wendy's is very confrontational and they like to be kind of sassy, and that's how they do their social media pages. But that might not work for you. Maybe you're more professional. Maybe you deal with very professional people and that wouldn't work in your industry. You just have to look at your target market and how they want to be communicated with. That way you can build trust with your consumers. You're also going to want to write a tagline. It's going to be something that's memorable, something that's short and sweet, but conveys who your brand is. For instance, for True Inspiration, my tagline is, "Where true inspiration begins," which is the entire company name in my tagline, but it's also very important to my brand. Because at True Inspiration, we want to inspire you to create your business. We know that there are a lot of people out there who want to create a business and don't know how, and we want you to know we're here to help. So it's important when you're thinking of your messaging that you're being true to your brand and you're being authentic. You want your consumers to trust you. Consumers, especially now with social media, can see when a brand is not being authentic and true to who they are. And that will lead them to not coming back. So look at your competition on all their social media pages, their websites, see how they talk and see how you can be different from what they're saying. So how can we integrate your brand? Well, social media is very important. There are different types of social media and we will get into all those in later videos. But social media is a great way to talk to your consumers directly. And it's a good way in real time to see what consumers think of your brand and where you can improve. And you can see where your brand fits on which social media page. Is your company better suited for LinkedIn, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram? It all depends on the messaging and the voice of your brand, where you would fit in better. It's important to integrate your brand even down to your customer service. You want to make sure that your customer service is saying the same type of messaging as every other part of your company is. So what do you want to avoid when branding? You do not want to send mixed messages. You want to make sure that your website and your social media and all your marketing materials are saying the exact same thing so that consumers are not confused about what you're offering and how you can help them. Don't copy your competition. Make sure you're aware of what they're doing, see where they're at in the marketplace, but find your own voice, find where you fit, and make sure you're not doing exactly what they're doing. Don't lose consistency online and offline. It can be very easy to be consistent while you're on paper, and then when you go to social media, start putting random colors and random fonts all over the place, and that'll just confuse your consumers when they look you up online from a print ad. And in all of everything I've said today, if you have gotten nothing else, please think of the word consistent. Consistency can make or break your brand identity. You want to be able to be flexible where you can change the message and you can update the logo, but you want to make sure that you're always consistent no matter where you're making the changes. If you update your logo, that's fine, but make sure it's updated on all your platforms, all your websites, and all your print material. Set up your Google Analytics, create surveys, check your social media, communicate with your customers, and figure out where you are and how you can improve. Use these surveys and these conversations to monitor your brand. See where you can improve, see what they're saying, and see how people are interacting with your brand. If they don't like it, be able to be flexible and change it. It's okay to make a mistake as long as you're willing to improve it. So that's a little dive into branding and how to brand your business. I hope it wasn't too scary. I hope it was a little entertaining, and I hope at least it gave you a lot of information. I know it can sound like a lot, but when you start getting rolling on it, you'll find out that it becomes pretty easy to you. If you have any questions, if you're worried about your branding, Truespiration would love to help you. You can email me at info@truespiration.com. You can message me on my Facebook page at Truespiration Inc. and you can message me at Instagram at Truespiration Inc. My name is Shannon, and tune in next week for our target marketing video.